to start a little trouble once in a while, but not as much as I used to. When I say used to, I mean between the ages of 13 and 18. Oh my goodness, I was out of control. Me and my buddies, man, we really knew how to get into some trouble. Rarely got caught, but the one time we did get caught, could have ended real badly. Luckily, my father knew the local sheriff, but I had this 1991 Trans Am. All right, it was a white Trans Am, you know, the one with the flip-up headlights, and I had this buddy named Mark and this other buddy named Mark. Two buddies named Mark. One spelled M-A-R-K and then one spelled M-A-R-C. Well, M-A-R-C Mark was known by my family as the good Mark. M-A-R-K was known by my family as the bad Mark. Well, when the two of them got together, they canceled each other out, and you never knew what the fuck was going to happen. So bad Mark had come across a police light bar, you know, the red and white light, or red and blue lights that go on the top of your car. Well, he had come across one of those, and the good Mark, I believe it was him, came up with the idea that, hey, let's put this on your Trans Am, and then late at night we'll go pull off on the side of a backcountry road and wait for a car to go by, and we'll pretend to be police. And oh wow, that's not normal. He said we'll pretend to be police and pull these guys over. Well, I had already installed a intercom system in my Trans Am, one of the ones that, you know, plays animal sounds and what the hell? Plays animal sounds, has a little PA on it, and sirens, and, you know, everything else that is just made to get your ass in trouble. Well, we did it. So we pulled off on the side of one of these back roads. I grew up in a small town, Plainwell, Michigan, and we waited, and finally a car come by, and we pulled out behind them in the Trans Am. Of course, I was driving, and flipped the lights on, turned the sirens on, and the car pulled over just like they were supposed to. And instead of getting out of the vehicle, which none of us wanted to do, I think we were 16 or 17, I think we were 17, we just stayed in the vehicle. And I got on the intercom, and I said, driver, step out of the vehicle, put your hands on the hood. And I went through the same process for the passenger and the two passengers in the back seat. Well, as I get to the passenger in the back seat, passenger side, right hand side, I have him step out of the vehicle. Turns out this guy is a mountain of a dude. I'm talking 6'4", 6'6", 280, and he's just ginormous. And he turns and he looks at the car, and I think this guy, he was probably the one with a little bit of sense. He starts looking at the car and staring at it, and he's just, I could tell in his mind he was thinking something wasn't right. And the bad Mark in the backseat of my car goes, oh shit. Well, I still had the PA queued, so it projected over the car, over the PA, oh shit. And this guy heard it, and he started walking towards our car. And at that point, I'm like, oh my god, we're about to get our asses just beat. So I drop it in reverse, I spin out, turn around, and I take off. And these guys were in like this old 1986 Delta 88 or some shit like that. And I'm hauling ass. It was just a V6 Trans Am or Firebird, and so I'm hauling ass as fast as I can. Well, my Firebird had a oil leak in it, and I'd had it for a while. but I had to keep oil in it regularly. Well, I couldn't get above 50 miles an hour. I just couldn't build up the oil pressure I needed. And these guys that by then had turned around and were behind us, chasing us. And we're in the, like I said, back country. And I pull into this farmer's yard, and I'm driving down his long driveway. And it was like an episode right out of Dukes of Hazzard. I tear into the farmer's yard, out of his driveway, go into his yard, and I'm racing around his house, and these fools are following me. These guys are following us, and I'm just trying to get away. That's all. I'm just trying to get away from these people. I don't want them getting my plate. I don't want them catching us, and I'm not trying to get my ass beat. And so I get back out on the main road after I torn up the farmer's flowers and his landscape, and we get back out on the main road and start taking off, and there they come, sure as shit, in this old beat up car. Must have been a four still. It caught up, and they got our plate number, and then they took off. Well, I go home. I went home, and I was staying with my girlfriend that night, and which is now my wife too, by the way. And I go to bed, and I'm thinking, you know what? Hey, I'll go to bed. I'll wake up. I don't have to. This, be all over. It's just a bad dream. Well, I get a phone call from my mom the next morning that, hey, we need you to come to the house, and we have to go see the sheriff at 10 o'clock. And right away I knew what. I was like, oh shit. So my parents were accustomed to police officers showing up and looking for me growing up. And so we go down to the police department. We get the whole, you could have been killed, this could have been a bad person, you shouldn't have done this, blah 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 blah. And it turned out, just to be a slap on the wrist. The sheriff handled it internally and just really gave us a good scolding. And that was it. That's all we got. I'm pretty sure, like, had I been an adult, that's definitely like a felony or some shit. But the police handled it the way they felt they needed to handle it, and hopefully that's outside the statute of limitations, and nobody can go back and get me for it because I was never charged. Yeah, so that's just one of my. That's one of the few that I actually got caught, stirring up trouble. We got a lot more stories like that to share with you guys when we can move on to these other episodes. Right now we're gonna take a little trip over to the A Bay area. It's called, it stands for Alexandria Bay. Everybody calls it A Bay around here. Nice little quaint town, and drive through there, so, take a look, see if we can catch a glimpse of that Bolt Castle that I was telling you guys about. But I will see you guys when we get over to A Bay.